Cameron Jibril Tamaz, better known to the world as Wiz Khalifa, was born on September 8, 1987, in the small town of Minot, North Dakota. His entry into the world was as unconventional as the life he would later lead, born to parents serving in the military. This meant that young Cameron was destined for a life filled with change, constantly moving from one place to another as his parents' assignments shifted. While some children might have found this lifestyle disorienting, Cameron thrived in the variety of experiences, cultures, and environments he encountered. Moving frequently exposed Cameron to a kaleidoscope of cultures and sounds, planting the early seeds of his diverse musical tastes. By the time he was in elementary school, he had lived in Germany, Japan, and the United Kingdom, as well as various parts of the United States. Each new place was a chapter in his young life, adding layers to his understanding of the world and his place in it. His parents, although strict, were supportive of his interests. They encouraged him to find solace and expression in whatever form he chose, and for Cameron, that form was music. Music quickly became more than just a hobby for Cameron. It was a lifeline. In a world where everything was constantly changing, music was the one thing that remained a constant. It was during these early years that he began to develop an ear for different genres, absorbing everything from hip-hop to rock to jazz. But it was hip-hop that truly spoke to him. The raw energy, the storytelling, and the beats resonated with him on a level that nothing else could. His passion for music was more than just passive listening. It was active creation. By the time Cameron was a teenager, he was already writing his own rhymes. He found inspiration in the greats, artists like the Notorious B.I.G., Tupac Shakur, and Bone Thugs-n-Harmony. Their lyrical prowess and ability to tell stories through their music inspired Cameron to find his own voice, to express his own experiences, and to connect with others through his words. He began filling notebooks with lyrics, honing his craft with a dedication that was rare for someone his age. The turning point in Cameron's life came when his family finally settled in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, during his high school years. Pittsburgh, with its gritty working-class ethos, provided the perfect backdrop for Cameron to dive deeper into his musical journey. It was here that he adopted the name Wiz Khalifa. Wiz was short for wisdom, a nickname he earned from his friends due to his mature outlook on life and his ability to navigate the complexities of the world around him. Khalifa was an Arabic word meaning successor, which was a nod to his Muslim faith and his belief that he was destined to succeed in the world of music. Wiz Khalifa's early experiences in Pittsburgh were formative. The city had a burgeoning hip-hop scene, but it was far from the epicenters of the genre like New York or Los Angeles. This meant that Wiz had to work twice as hard to make a name for himself. He started performing at local venues, often to small crowds, but his energy and passion were undeniable. He quickly gained a reputation as a talented young rapper with a unique sound, a mix of laid-back beats and introspective lyrics that set him apart from his peers. While still in high school, Wiz began recording his first mixtapes. He was determined to make a name for himself, and he knew that the only way to do that was through relentless hustle. He spent countless hours in makeshift studios, laying down tracks and refining his sound. His early mixtapes, such as Prince of the City, Welcome to Pennsylvania, were raw and unpolished, but they showcased his potential. These mixtapes began circulating in the local hip-hop community, and it wasn't long before they caught the attention of industry insiders. Wiz Khalifa's journey, from a military brat with a passion for music to a rising star in Pittsburgh's hip-hop scene, was just the beginning. His early life was marked by constant change and adaptation, but through it all, he found his voice in music. It was this voice that would soon take him from the streets of Pittsburgh to the world stage, where he would become one of the most influential artists of his generation. As we delve deeper into his story, we'll explore how Wiz Khalifa broke into the industry and the challenges he faced on his way to the top. But for now, we leave young Cameron Tamaz in Pittsburgh, on the cusp of greatness, with a dream that was about to become a reality. As Wiz Khalifa's reputation grew in Pittsburgh, so did his ambition. He knew that if he wanted to make it big, he had to push beyond the boundaries of his hometown and capture the attention of the broader music industry. His first significant opportunity came when he signed with Rostrum Records, a Pittsburgh-based independent label founded by Benji Grinberg. This partnership would prove to be one of the most crucial steps in Wiz's early career. Rostrum Records gave Wiz Khalifa the platform he needed to reach a wider audience while allowing him the creative freedom to develop his unique style. Under the guidance of Grinberg, Wiz released his first major mixtape, Prince of the City, Welcome to Pennsylvania, in 2005. This mixtape was a gritty, raw depiction of life in Pittsburgh, showcasing Wiz's ability to blend street-smart lyrics with a laid-back delivery. The mixtape created a buzz not only in Pittsburgh but also in the underground hip-hop scene across the country. Wiz's next move was to capitalize on this momentum. In 2006, he released his debut studio album, Show and Prove. The album was well received by critics and fans alike, with many praising Wiz's lyrical prowess and unique sound. Tracks like Pittsburgh Sound became anthems for the city, solidifying Wiz's status as a local hero. However, despite the album's success, Wiz knew that breaking into the mainstream would require even more effort. The following year, in 2007, Wiz Khalifa signed his first major record deal with Warner Bros. Records. This was a huge milestone in his career, marking his entry into the big leagues of the music industry. With Warner Bros. Backing him, Wiz had access to resources and opportunities that were previously out of reach. He quickly got to work, releasing his first single under the label Say Yeah. The track, which sampled Alice DJ's Better Off Alone, was an instant hit. It received significant radio play and charted on the Billboard Rhythmic Top 40, giving Wiz his first taste of national recognition. However, life with a major label wasn't as smooth as Wiz had hoped. The relationship between Wiz and Warner Bros. Quickly became strained. While Say Yeah was a moderate success, the label wanted Wiz to follow a more commercial path, pushing for radio-friendly hits that could replicate the success of his debut single. But Wiz had a different vision for his music. He wanted to stay true to his roots and continue experimenting with his sound, something that Warner Bros. Wasn't entirely on board with. Frustrated with the creative constraints imposed by the label, Wiz made the bold decision to part ways with Warner Bros. In 2009. It was a risky move, especially for an artist still in the early stages of his career, but Wiz was determined to forge his own path. He returned to Rostrum Records, where he felt more at home and had the freedom to make the music he wanted to make. This decision proved to be a turning point in Wiz Khalifa's career. Free from the pressures of a major label, he was able to focus on creating music that resonated with his true self and his growing fan base. He threw himself into the independent grind, working tirelessly on new material and releasing it directly to his fans. His mixtapes during this period, such as Flight School and How Fly, a collaborative project with fellow rapper Curran Dolly, further cemented his status as a rising star in the hip-hop community. But it was the release of Burn After Rolling in 2009 that truly set the stage for what was to come. This mixtape was a game-changer for Wiz. It featured a mix of original tracks and freestyles over popular beats, showcasing his versatility and lyrical skill. Songs like The Thrill, which sampled Empire of the Sun's Walking on a Dream, demonstrated Wiz's ability to blend genres and appeal to a broad audience. The mixtape was a massive success online, spreading like wildfire across blogs and social media platforms. Wiz's growing popularity caught the attention of major players in the music industry once again, but this time he was in a position of power. He had proven that he could build a successful career independently, and now the labels were coming to him. But instead of rushing back into a major label deal, Wiz took his time, carefully considering his next move. He knew that the music industry was changing, and he wanted to be at the forefront of that change. By the end of 2009, Wiz Khalifa was on the brink of something big. He had a dedicated fan base, a catalog of successful mixtapes, and the confidence that came from knowing he had done it all on his own terms. As 2010 approached, the stage was set for Wiz to make his mark on the world. Little did he know, his next project would catapult him to global stardom and cement his place in hip-hop history. But for now, Wiz was content with the hustle. He had learned valuable lessons from his time with Warner Brothers, and he was determined not to repeat the same mistakes. With his eyes firmly set on the future, Wiz Khalifa was ready to take the next step in his journey, a journey that would soon make him a household name. By the time 2010 rolled around, Wiz Khalifa was already a well-known figure in the underground hip-hop scene, but he was still searching for that one project that would elevate him to the mainstream. That project turned out to be Kush and Orange Juice, a mixtape that would not only change his career, but also leave a lasting impact on the entire hip-hop genre. Released in April 2010, Kush and Orange Juice was a breath of fresh air. The mixtape was a departure from the gritty, street-centric narratives that dominated much of hip-hop at the time. Instead, Wiz crafted a collection of laid-back, feel-good tracks that captured the essence of his persona, chilled out, carefree, and unapologetically himself. The title itself was a perfect encapsulation of the vibe he was going for, a mix of relaxation, Kush referring to marijuana, and brightness, Orange Juice, representing the start of a new day. One of the most significant aspects of Kush and Orange Juice was how it resonated with a new generation of listeners. At a time when hip-hop was often characterized by aggression and bravado, Wiz offered something different, an invitation to relax, vibe out, and enjoy life. This approach not only set him apart from his peers, but also expanded his audience beyond traditional hip-hop fans. The mixtape's success was largely driven by college students and young adults who identified with Wiz's laid-back lifestyle and saw him as a relatable figure in the music world. The impact of Kush and Orange Juice was undeniable. It topped Google's Hot Trends list on the day of its release, a testament to the buzz it generated. Critics praised the mixtape for its cohesive sound and Wiz's ability to craft a project that was both accessible and innovative. But perhaps the most telling sign of the mixtape's success was the fact that major labels were once again knocking on Wiz's door, eager to sign the artist who had proven he could create a cultural moment without their backing. This time, Wiz was ready. Armed with the confidence that came from the success of Kush and Orange Juice, he signed with Atlantic Records, one of the biggest labels in the industry. But unlike his previous experience with Warner Bros., this deal was different. Wiz was in control. He had proven that he could succeed on his own, and now he was negotiating from a position of strength. Atlantic recognized the unique appeal that Wiz brought to the table and allowed him the creative freedom to continue developing his sound. With a major label behind him, Wiz was poised to take his career to the next level. He began working on what would become his breakthrough studio album, Rolling Papers. But before that, he had another major hit on his hands. In September 2010, Wiz released Black and Yellow, a single that would go on to define his career. Black and Yellow was more than just a song, it was an anthem. The track was a tribute to Wiz's hometown of Pittsburgh, with the title referencing the city's iconic black and yellow colors, worn by its sports teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers. The song's infectious hook and booming production made it an instant hit, resonating not only with fans in Pittsburgh but with listeners all over the world. It quickly climbed the charts, eventually reaching #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in early 2011. For Wiz, Black and Yellow was the culmination of years of hard work, a validation of his decision to stay true to himself and his vision. The success of Black and Yellow set the stage for the release of Rolling Papers in March 2011. The album debuted at #2 on the Billboard 200, further cementing Wiz's status as a global superstar. Rolling Papers featured a mix of party anthems, introspective tracks, and collaborations with artists like Too Short and Currency. While the album received mixed reviews from critics, some praised its production and catchiness, while others felt it leaned too heavily on commercial appeal, there was no denying its impact. Tracks like No Sleep and Roll Up became radio staples, and the album's success helped to solidify Wiz's place in the upper echelons of the music industry. But Kush and Orange Juice remained a special project for Wiz and his fans. It was the mixtape that had put him on the map, the one that had allowed him to connect with listeners on a deep, personal level. It also marked a shift in how music was consumed and distributed, with artists increasingly using the internet to bypass traditional industry gatekeepers and reach their audiences directly. Wiz Khalifa had not only found his sound, he had found his place in the rapidly evolving world of hip-hop. As 2011 came to a close, Wiz Khalifa was no longer just an underground sensation. He was a global star. The journey from Pittsburgh's local scene to the world stage had been anything but easy, but Wiz had navigated it with a combination of talent, determination, and a willingness to stay true to himself. With Kush and Orange Juice and Rolling Papers, he had laid the foundation for a career that would continue to grow and evolve in the years to come. The success of Rolling Papers was a defining moment in Wiz Khalifa's career. It marked his transition from an underground mixtape artist to a mainstream hip-hop superstar. With hits like Black and Yellow, Roll Up, and No Sleep, the album resonated with a wide audience, reaching fans far beyond the realm of traditional hip-hop. But more than just commercial success, Rolling Papers represented Wiz's ability to craft anthems that captured the spirit of a generation. His unique blend of catchy hooks, laid-back delivery, and relatable lyrics struck a chord with listeners around the world. One of the key factors in the album's success was Wiz Khalifa's ability to connect with his audience on a personal level. His music wasn't just something to listen to, it was a lifestyle. Wiz had cultivated an image that was both aspirational and attainable, a laid-back, carefree vibe that encouraged fans to embrace the good times and live in the moment. This image was perfectly encapsulated in songs like No Sleep, which became an anthem for partygoers and night owls alike, celebrating the idea of living life to the fullest without worrying about the consequences. Following the release of Rolling Papers, Wiz embarked on his first major world tour, the Rolling Papers World Tour. The tour was a massive undertaking, spanning multiple continents and drawing huge crowds wherever he went. For Wiz, this was an opportunity to connect with his fans on a global scale, bringing his music and his message to cities around the world. The tour's success was a testament to his growing popularity, with sold-out shows in major cities like New York, London, Paris, and Tokyo. Wiz's performances on the Rolling Papers World Tour were electric. He had a natural stage presence that captivated audiences, drawing them into his world with every song. Whether he was performing the chart-topping Black and Yellow or fan favorites from Kush and Orange Juice, Wiz had an uncanny ability to make each concert feel like a personal experience for every fan in the crowd. His energetic performances, combined with his genuine connection with his audience, made the tour a resounding success and further solidified his status as a global superstar. As Wiz Khalifa's fame continued to rise, so did the opportunities that came his way. He began collaborating with some of the biggest names in the music industry, further expanding his influence and reach. One of the most notable collaborations during this period was with Snoop Dogg, a West Coast legend and one of Wiz's biggest influences. The two artists teamed up for the 2011 collaborative album Mac and Devin Go to High School, which served as the soundtrack for a stoner comedy film of the same name in which they both starred. Mac and Devin Go to High School was more than just an album, it was a cultural moment. The project showcased the undeniable chemistry between Wiz and Snoop, blending their distinct styles into a cohesive and entertaining package. Tracks like Young, Wild, and Free, featuring Bruno Mars, became anthems for the youth, celebrating the freedom and recklessness of adolescence. The song's infectious hook and feel-good vibe made it a commercial success, reaching the top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 and earning platinum certification. The project also reinforced Wiz's image as a leading figure in the stoner rap subgenre, a niche that he had effectively popularized. While Wiz Khalifa was enjoying the heights of his career, he remained grounded, never losing sight of the hard work and dedication that had brought him this far. His success wasn't just a result of catchy songs and viral hits, it was the product of years of perseverance, countless hours in the studio, and a relentless drive to stay true to himself. This work ethic was something that resonated with his fans, many of whom saw Wiz as a symbol of the rewards that come from staying authentic and putting in the effort. Wiz's impact extended beyond music as well. His influence could be seen in fashion, with his signature style, tattoos, skinny jeans, and Converse sneakers, becoming a trend among fans and fashion enthusiasts alike. He also became known for his outspoken advocacy for marijuana legalization, using his platform to speak out on issues that were important to him. His personal brand, built on a foundation of music, lifestyle, and activism, made him one of the most recognizable and influential figures in pop culture. As 2011 came to a close, Wiz Khalifa had firmly established himself as a global icon. The journey from his early days in Pittsburgh to the world stage had been a roller coaster ride, filled with highs and lows, but through it all, Wiz had remained true to his vision. His rise to stardom was a testament to the power of perseverance, creativity, and staying true to oneself. But even as he basked in the glow of his success, Wiz Khalifa knew that his journey was far from over. The music industry was constantly evolving, and Wiz was determined to evolve with it. He had already proven that he could conquer the mainstream without losing his identity, but now he was ready to take on new challenges, explore new sounds, and continue pushing the boundaries of what it meant to be a hip-hop artist in the modern era. The stage was set for the next chapter in Wiz Khalifa's career, a chapter that would see him expand his empire, influence a new generation of artists, and leave a lasting legacy in the world of hip-hop and beyond. By the time Wiz Khalifa's Rolling Papers era began to wind down, he had already achieved what many artists could only dream of: global recognition, chart-topping hits, and a loyal fan base that spanned the world. But for Wiz, this was just the beginning. As he looked to the future, he knew that sustaining his career meant evolving as an artist and branching out beyond music. In 2012, Wiz released his fourth studio album, ONIFC, Only in First Class, which showcased his growth as an artist and his willingness to experiment with different sounds. The album featured a mix of styles, blending elements of hip-hop, R&B, and pop, while still maintaining the signature laid-back vibe that fans had come to love. Songs like Work Hard, Play Hard, and Remember You, featuring The Weeknd, demonstrated Wiz's ability to craft radio-friendly hits without sacrificing his unique sound. ONFC was another commercial success, debuting at number 2 on the Billboard 200 and earning positive reviews from critics who praised Wiz's versatility and artistic growth. The album's success further solidified Wiz's position as one of the leading figures in hip-hop, but it also marked a turning point in his career. As he continued to release music, Wiz began to explore new ventures and expand his influence beyond the recording studio. One of the most significant aspects of Wiz Khalifa's evolution was his ventures into the business world, particularly in the cannabis industry. Wiz had long been an outspoken advocate for marijuana legalization, and in 2016 he took his passion to the next level by launching his own strain of marijuana, Khalifa Kush. The strain, which was developed in collaboration with a Colorado-based company, quickly became popular among cannabis enthusiasts and further cemented Wiz's status as a cultural icon. Khalifa Kush was more than just a business venture. It was a reflection of Wiz's personal brand. Throughout his career, Wiz had embraced the stoner lifestyle, making it a central theme in his music and public persona. By launching his own strain, he was able to capitalize on his influence in the cannabis community while also advocating for the broader acceptance and legalization of marijuana. The success of Khalifa Kush opened the door for Wiz to explore other business opportunities in the cannabis industry, including partnerships with dispensaries and the launch of his own line of cannabis-related products. Wiz's entrepreneurial spirit extended beyond the cannabis industry. He also ventured into fashion, launching his own clothing line, Taylor Gang, which featured a range of streetwear inspired by his personal style. The clothing line was a natural extension of Wiz's brand, offering fans the opportunity to dress like their favorite rapper while also promoting the Taylor Gang lifestyle, a reference to the collective of artists, producers, and creatives that Wiz had built around him. The success of Taylor Gang demonstrated Wiz's ability to translate his influence in music into other areas of pop culture, solidifying his status as a multifaceted entrepreneur. In addition to his business ventures, Wiz Khalifa also made a name for himself in the world of acting. He appeared in several films, most notably in the 2015 comedy Furious 7, where his song See You Again featuring Charlie Puth served as the soundtrack for the movie's emotional closing scene. The song, which was a tribute to the late actor Paul Walker, became one of Wiz's biggest hits, topping the charts in multiple countries and earning several awards, including a Billboard Music Award for Top Hot 100 Song. See You Again was a departure from Wiz's usual style, showcasing a more emotional and introspective side of the rapper. The song's success demonstrated Wiz's ability to connect with audiences on a deeper level, expanding his reach beyond the typical hip-hop fanbase. It also highlighted his versatility as an artist, proving that he could create music that resonated with listeners across different genres and demographics. As Wiz Khalifa continued to expand his empire, he also embraced his role as a father. In 2013, he welcomed his son, Sebastian, with then-partner Amber Rose. Fatherhood had a profound impact on Wiz, influencing both his personal life and his music. He often spoke about the joy and responsibility that came with being a father, and this new perspective was reflected in his lyrics. Songs like Zoni from his 2016 album Khalifa featured heartfelt tributes to his son, showcasing a more mature and introspective side of the rapper. Wiz's evolution as an artist and entrepreneur was marked by his ability to stay true to himself while also adapting to the changing landscape of the music industry. He had successfully navigated the transition from an underground mixtape artist to a mainstream superstar, all while maintaining his authenticity and connection with his fans. His ventures outside of music demonstrated his business acumen and his ability to capitalize on his influence, making him one of the most successful and respected figures in hip-hop. As the years went by, Wiz Khalifa's impact on the industry only continued to grow. He remained a relevant and influential figure in music, consistently releasing new material and collaborating with some of the biggest names in the industry. His ability to evolve while staying true to his roots made him a role model for younger artists, many of whom looked up to him as a pioneer in the hip-hop world. But even as he achieved success in multiple arenas, Wiz Khalifa never lost sight of what had brought him to this point: his love for music and his desire to create. He continued to push the boundaries of his sound, experimenting with new styles and collaborating with a diverse range of artists. Whether in the studio, on stage, or in the business world, Wiz Khalifa was always looking for new ways to express himself and connect with his audience. As we approach the final section of Wiz Khalifa's story, we'll explore the legacy he has built over the years and the lasting impact he has had on hip-hop and pop culture. From his early days in Pittsburgh to his global success, Wiz's journey is a testament to the power of staying true to oneself and the importance of evolution in the ever-changing world of music. Wiz Khalifa's journey from a young, aspiring rapper in Pittsburgh to a global music icon is one of perseverance, creativity, and an unyielding commitment to authenticity. As his career has evolved, so too has his influence on the music industry and the broader culture. Wiz has left an indelible mark on hip-hop, and his legacy is one that continues to grow with each new generation of artists who look to him as a source of inspiration. One of the most significant aspects of Wiz Khalifa's legacy is his role in popularizing the stoner rap subgenre. While artists like Snoop Dogg and Cypress Hill had laid the groundwork for this niche in the 1990s, Wiz brought it to a new generation with a modern twist. His music, persona, and advocacy for marijuana legalization resonated with a wide audience, making the stoner lifestyle not just acceptable, but cool. Albums like Kush and Orange Juice, and tracks like Young, Wild, and Free became anthems for fans who identified with Wiz's laid-back, carefree approach to life. This cultural shift was not just about the music, it was about a way of living that Wiz Khalifa embodied and promoted through his art. Wiz's influence extends beyond just his music. Over the years, he has taken on the role of a mentor, helping to shape the careers of emerging artists. His Taylor Gang Collective, which started as a group of friends and collaborators, has grown into a full-fledged record label and lifestyle brand. Through Taylor Gang, Wiz has nurtured the careers of artists like Ty Dolla $ign, Juicy J, and Chevy Woods, providing them with the platform and guidance they needed to succeed in the industry. His willingness to collaborate and share the spotlight with others is a testament to his character and his desire to see the next generation of artists thrive. In addition to his direct mentorship, Wiz Khalifa's influence can be seen in the work of countless young artists who have followed in his footsteps. His success as an independent artist who transitioned to mainstream stardom without compromising his identity has served as a blueprint for others. Artists like Post Malone, Travis Scott, and Lil Uzi Vert have all cited Wiz as an influence, particularly in how he navigated the music industry while maintaining creative control. Wiz's ability to blend different genres, experiment with new sounds, and stay true to his roots has inspired a new wave of artists who see him as a trailblazer. Wiz's impact on the music industry is also reflected in the changing landscape of how music is consumed and distributed. His decision to release Kush and Orange Juice as a free online mixtape was a game changer, helping to pave the way for the modern era of digital music distribution. Today, streaming services, social media, and online platforms are the primary ways that artists connect with their audiences, and Wiz was one of the early adopters of this approach. His success demonstrated that artists could bypass traditional industry gatekeepers and reach fans directly, a model that has since become the norm in the music industry. As Wiz Khalifa's career continues to evolve, so too does his legacy. He remains a relevant and influential figure in hip-hop, consistently releasing new music and collaborating with some of the biggest names in the industry. His ability to stay ahead of trends while remaining true to his signature style has allowed him to maintain his status as a hip-hop heavyweight, even as the genre itself continues to change and grow. But perhaps the most enduring aspect of Wiz Khalifa's legacy is his impact on his fans. Throughout his career, Wiz has always made a point of connecting with his audience on a personal level. Whether through his music, his social media presence, or his live performances, Wiz has cultivated a relationship with his fans that goes beyond just being an artist. They see him as a friend, a mentor, and a symbol of what it means to live life on your own terms. This connection has fostered a sense of loyalty and admiration that few artists can match, and it is this bond with his fans that will ensure Wiz Khalifa's legacy endures for years to come. As we look to the future, Wiz Khalifa's story is far from over. He continues to push the boundaries of his creativity, exploring new ventures and expanding his influence in ways that go beyond music. Whether it's through his business ventures in the cannabis industry, his forays into fashion, or his ongoing contributions to the world of hip-hop, Wiz Khalifa remains a dynamic and evolving force in the entertainment world. In conclusion, Wiz Khalifa's legacy is one of innovation, authenticity, and a deep connection with his audience. He has managed to navigate the ever-changing landscape of the music industry while staying true to himself and his roots. His influence can be felt in the work of countless artists who have been inspired by his journey, and his contributions to the culture will continue to resonate for generations to come. From the streets of Pittsburgh to the global stage, Wiz Khalifa's story is a testament to the power of perseverance, creativity, and staying true to your vision. A story that is still being written, with many more chapters to come.